Hi guys, good afternoon. Welcome to today's live coding section powered by Hamoye. My name is Diboke Success, Junior Data Scientist at Hamoye. So I'm going to, without wasting much of your time, let's go ahead and just share my screen. Can you all see my screen?
Yes, it's clear. We can see your screen. Go on.
Okay, so I'll start by defining web scraping. Web scraping is an automated gathering of data from the internet. In the past, it's commonly known as screen scraping, data mining, and web harvesting. So I was able to download so I was able to import the necessary library. So I also installed the beautiful soup. So when you look at so let's run this and so you have to take a lot of time for this install. So this is how you install your beautiful soup. Just type the install beautiful soup -- quiet. So this is importing the necessary library. I imported VS4, import beautiful soup at VS, import request, import runners as BD. So that is running right now. So successfully run. Let me run this one. So we start by loading the web page. So this is the web page we're going to load, and we are reading it with this URL open. So URL open to read the data, the website of today. So, and there are two options. It's either you use URL open or you use request.get. But at this point, I'm actually using request.get to read the HTML of this website. So if I run this, So, in order to know that this website is this, so let's just go to. So this is the website we are trying to get data from. We're trying to scrape data from this website using Beautiful Soup. And I'm not just going to scrape all the data from this website. I'm going to scrape a particular section of this website, which is Toy Story 3. So how to get this side of the website, like if you click around here, you see some part of the website is being highlighted. So, and where I'm trying to derive data from is just this side, the Toy Story 3, because I want to, it's a movie, so I want to have a data that has the director's name, the producer's name, and all. So, and to get that data, I have to go through using a selection method to inspect the section. So when you hover around here, you see this side, the top part of this website is being highlighted. So I will keep going because I'm looking for a way I can get only this side highlighted. By the way, if you have any question, kindly put it on the chatting section. Just put your questions on the chatting section so that I will just read it and answer the question. So I just want to show you how to get a class of the data. Now, if I want to get information from Toy Story 3, I'm going to use this class here. If you can see this class equals to info bus vent, I'm going to use this class while coding as an attribute to call the data from this website. So let's go back to our digital notebook. So first of all, let me just run this one. So after loading the web page, which has actually loaded right now. So what the next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to convert it to a Beautiful Soup using, I have to name my Beautiful Soup BS underscore object equals to BS bracket open arrow.content. So if I run this, it has run. So the next thing again, I want to know the content of the Beautiful Soup. It will print out the HTML of the page. I want to see the HTML of this page. I want to see what I have extracted from the website. So when I run this, to print out the same website, that same details of the website, the HTML of the website. So looking, this is what we are trying to derive. This is the website itself. This is all of it. This is what we've extracted. Now, at this point now, I will now say I want to get a particular info from this website because I'm not getting all the infos from the website. So try to move this down. So now the next cell, moving on, you see, if you want to get a specific object in the page you visit, you visit the page. Right click to the scroll down to inspect using the function. Trying to extract the information you need. That is what I already did earlier. So like I told you, if you want to get a particular thing from a website, you have to go to that website, right click, and go down to inspect. So when you inspect it will show you the class, the attributes of that website. That's the only way you can extract that website from where it is. Like that's the only way you can call the website in your digital notebook. So calling it, you have to use the class of that table. If you don't use the class, you can't be able to, the Python cannot be able to understand what you're trying to call. So we are going to say bs_object dot find a particular table, and that table, this is the class of the table. So when I say underscore equals to info bus variant. So when we run this, you see, we have the table here. This is the table. This is the table. So I'm trying to find the rows. Our goal here is to find this particular, this one, this here. We're trying to create a table that has informations of the movie, the who directed the movie, what actor is inside the movie, who produced it, the actors and the producers and the well, let me scroll down so that we see, you understand what I'm trying to say. So we're trying to know the information about this movie, who edited the movie and all. So we're trying to get a data of this whole information here. So going further, so information bus underscore bus equals to bs underscore object dot find class. So I had to rename my BS variable name. I renamed it as info underscore bus. So I want to know the context for them. So when I run this, I will change. See what I'm looking for. So move on to the next cell. So to the next cell, to extract the table rows of the information you have decided to extract. Now we're trying to get a table and we need to extract the rows of the information we're looking at for. The table we want to extract. So we want to get. So what I would do is I will not say info underscore boards dot find all. So I'm using this function to find all the table rows, all the rows in the table I am looking at for. Then I will rename the variable. Instead of information box, I will name it as information rows, because information underscore box dot find all table rows. So when I run this, then in order to find all the rows, I will just, if I run it like this, have to be running it one by one. So I have to use for loop to run all of them. I will not say, moving forward, you can use for loop to iterate the rows, like for row in information rows, print row.55 functions. So if I run this, I will see all the table rows, all the table rows, all the table rows. So you can see all the table rows. You can see what I'm trying to do, right? See the class of the table. So this is the table here, this is the table rows, this is the table data. These are all the informations of the table I'm running. So moving on. So moving on, I will not say, okay, assuming I want to extract few rows to give a dictionary of keys and values of the rows in the table in a dictionary form. So I want what I'm looking for to be in a dictionary form. So I have to using for loop to iterate and extract the rows. But since I don't want all all of the rows, I will use enumerate function keyword to get them, to get the particular rows I'm looking at for. Okay, defining a function to find all the list items in that row. Like what this means is that I want to, because in that data, the data I'm trying to acquire has lots of rows. So I want to get a particular row that has to do with Toy Story 3. You know, so we're not here to get all the scrape all the data on that website. We're here to extract the particular information that we need to answer questions, build data visualizations, and all. So here we are now. So I'll now kind of build the function, which is def get underscore content underscore value bracket open row. So this function here I built here now, I'm trying to say if row dot find list. Like in my row, and if there's something list, this li is representing list. If there is list in my row, return string of the list for li in row, they'll find all the lists represented as li. So, and if there is no list, else return all the rows in the data table. This is what this function is trying to say. So if I run this, it has run. So moving on to the next cell, I'll not say, okay, moving information. Whatever I'm getting, I want to view them in dictionary form. And doing that, I have to use for loop. So I will say for index row in enumerate bracket open would be, sorry, info underscore rows. So I'm trying to get information about my rows, as I named that information underscore rows. So, and for you to get the rows, different rows of from a website, you have to use the index. So I'm saying if index is equals to 0, that means movie underscore info is title. That means I want the 0. That means the movie is title is equals to row dot find th dot get test function. I don't know if you understand me. Then if the index is equals to 1, continue, because if you go to the website, the row that has index 1 is a picture. So we don't want it to stop at 1. Of course, it's not going to show. So we'll not say, okay, continue. Else, moving forward to index 2, 3, we'll not say else, context underscore key equals to row dot find th dot get test. Context underscore value, get context underscore value. So at this point, this is where our function, this is where we have to define the function to get it. So we now say, okay, movie underscore info square bracket open content underscore key equals to content underscore value. So after that, we have to print in the movie info. So here we have it. So from here now, you see our index 0, title, Toy Story 3. So we try to build a dictionary, build our data set in a dictionary form, where we have this title is the key, and the Toy Story 3 is the value. You understand? So directed by is the key, why the name is the value. Screenplay by is the key, why the name is the value. Story by is the key, why the name is the value. So these are all the rows which we use index to call them forth. So moving on. So cleaning up the extracted data. At this point now, we have extracted the data, and we can see some inconsistencies. You can see all these SAO 2010, and you can see that our date is not in a good format. So we want to remove all these SAO all this stuff, you need to remove them so you can have a clean data set. All this stuff. So this is where it comes to cleaning up the extracted data. So at this point now, I told you that while we're calling our function, we needed to convert it to string. I told you. So where you're returning li.get_test function, we had to convert it to string so that when we are building our data frame, so when we are converting our derived data, the scraped data into a data frame, into a tabular form, it will be easy. That's why I had to convert the return to string. Now, to ensure that these inconsistencies that are here are being removed, I use a replace function. So what I did, you know how replace function works. You start by putting the old, what you want to be replaced, then put what you want to add. I don't know if you understand me. So at this point, we are putting what we want to be replaced, this SAO bracket. Then we want it to be replaced with space. So at this point, we are not just replacing only SAO, we're also replacing all these integers, bracket 1, bracket 1, and all. So, and of course, you cannot be replacing two stuffs in using one replace function. So we have to invoke two replace functions. So applying the second replace function, we have to put what we're replacing. And we have to say, okay, we don't want space, we just put apostrophe. The same thing here, we use the same replace function to do the same thing. So anywhere you see get_test, you put your dot and replace the things you want to replace. So when we run this, so at this point now, we also notice that the production, when you look at the data sets, you find out that production companies, I don't know if you can see this production companies, is actually together, but when you check the website, they're not together on the website. See, on the website, you can see production companies, they are different. So they actually have space and all. So we have to go back and make sure it appears that way so that we'll have a good data set. So what we need to do to remove that, where we are trying to, when you come to get test, you not say strip equals to true. So this function here will help us, create a space in this production component. So I think we have found this. So we want this. So as you can see, all those inconsistencies, those things. Now look at our date. Our date is in a good format. Look at it's in a good format. We have a good date format. So if you check the production, there's the both words are no longer together. There's this space separating the both of them. So when let's go over. So the next thing we're going to do right now is converting the dictionary, this particular data set, to a data frame. And already we have imported our pandas as KB. So go ahead and run this. We have a data set right now. We have a data set. See, you can see we have a data set title, Toy Story 3, directed by Lee, screenplay by Michael, story by A List of Names, produced by Dalake Addison. So now we have a data set. So assuming we have, now looking at this data set right now, assuming we have a data set that has null values, lots of things, that's where you can start doing your exploratory data analysis, start doing your data visualization, start working on the data set, creating different telling a story using the data set you script from the website. You tell the story that when someone sees it, they'll be able to understand what you're trying to write. So at this point, I'm going to entertain questions. If you have any question, kindly ask me. Okay, someone asked, can you please throw more light on why you use the enumerate function? So like I told you, the enumerate function, if you look at this, please, can you guys hear me?
Yes, we can. Go ahead.
Okay, the enumerate function, if you look at this particular, if you cancel this, you're looking at this website now. So how to get to that place? I cancel, just go to inspect, and it shows you everything. So you can see. So looking at this now, this particular table, data table, right? Table data I'm trying to get. It has lots of rows, it has lots of information, and I just want to extract a particular thing. I don't want to extract a particular rows. So that shows that when you visit a website and you want to extract data, you want to scrape data from that website, you have to have it in mind what you want, what you are looking at for. You don't just go to a website and start scraping haphazardly. Of course, you end up having a haphazard, a scattered data set that won't make a meaning, So you have to, when you go to a website, you have to exactly look for what you're looking at for. Go for what you're looking at for. You know what you want and go for it. So from here now, this is the particular, this is where we are looking at for. And inside this now, I'm also looking out for a particular roles. This in particular. I do not want this picture. I'm just looking out for informations about the movie. Who directed the movie, who story played it, who produced it, how many people were in the movie and all. So that's just the only thing I'm looking out for. And doing that, I had to use the enumerate function to extract the kind of exact rules I'm looking out for. So I don't know if I've answered that question. So I use the enumerate function to extract the exact rules I'm looking out for. So another question. If we need a more elaborate data set, example data set of all movies released into exchange, do we have to go to the hundreds of websites before we can get such? Well, no, you don't need to go to hundreds of websites. You just need to visit a website that has, you just need to go to a website that has lots of movies in their data table. You understand? There's some websites that have very limited number of movies. And if you're scraping from that website, you will definitely have limited columns of movies and and all. So you have to you don't need hundreds of websites for that. You just need to look for a particular website that has a lot of information about movies and all. I don't know if I've answered that question. Okay. Yes, you can. This TH, TB, TR. There's another question. Sorry, someone said TH, TB, TR, and others can be named with personal choice, right? Can I see the beginning of the code, please? Okay. Okay. For instance, you cannot change what is on the website. You have to use the TH, all the variables used in the website. That's what you're going to use to call to extract the data set from the website. You don't have to change the TH. This TH means the table head, TB means the table body, TR means table rows and all. So you don't have, if you change it on your Jupyter notebook, So you won't be able to call forth anything. I think it's going to be showing you error. Sorry about the noise. Well, if you want to know, someone asked, how are we going to know websites that allow web scraping? Well, if you want to know website that allows web scraping, you have to visit, you have to make research, like check the YouTube channel, check on the website that others have worked with. Because when people have worked with those websites, that means you can scrape from them. For them to have scraped from it, you can actually scrape from them too. Yes, someone asked, can we have your notebook? We might need to check the codes again for some lines to really sink in. Of course, this particular live coding will be replayed on YouTube, to be on YouTube, for you to go back and watch again. So I don't know if there's another question. You can write on the chat. I'll be reading them. So back to what I was saying earlier, when you have converted your data to a data frame, you have to first of all start exploratory data analysis on your data. Okay. The script of the notebook, well, I'm not sure if that will be available. I can't really say that will be available for you. But hopefully, I don't know. I don't want to promise anything. I'm not really sure. Well, someone asked the question, how do we scrape dynamically generated content? Data, example data coming from a database, not directly typed in HTML. Well, like web scraping is gathering data from the internet. So if you are going to get a data from database, that means you're pulling a data from database. You're pulling already structured data. And most times when you're using such data, you don't need to conduct lots of EDA, exploratory data analysis on them, because they are well structured. For them to be on a database, that means they have been properly cleaned. Like if you're pulling a data from structured query language, and perhaps you're pulling lots of data in structured query language, and you have to join all of them, they have been properly knitted, like well clean, prepared. That's why they're inside a database, you understand? Now, when you're doing web scraping, it means you're going to the internet, you're going to a website to scrape information from them. So when you get that information, you have to conduct an EDA. So are you understanding me? You don't scrape data on databases, because why? They are databases. That is where we get information. They're already data there, ready for you. So the reason why we scrape it, okay, let me just say, okay, web scraping is another source of getting data, but the data gotten from web scraping is not in order, it's not well structured. Do you understand? It's not structured. You need to clean it up and use data frame to give it a structure. But when you're getting a data from database, you don't need to clean it up most times, and you don't need to put it in a structured form. They come like that, and they're all well structured. So I guess you've understood my answer. So if there's another question, please kindly put on the chat. Maybe because you're kind of confused, just ask your question. I'll help you. Any other question, guys? Still waiting. So let's talk about your project. Regarding your project, you already know what to do from this live coding. You already know, I'm sure you should have an idea of what to do with your project for stage C. So you go to a website of your choice, scrape the website using any Python library of your choice. So you can use Beautiful Soup, there are other libraries to use, So once you scrape the information out, then you prepare a document of your findings. And this document, you're doing a data storytelling of the data set you scraped out from the website. You're doing a data visualization of the data set you scraped out from the website. You do data visualization, you do data storytelling, you make a report of your findings, and after that, you host it on GitHub. After hosting it on GitHub, you have to share the link, and submit it as while you're doing your quiz, you submit the link for it to be viewed. So I don't know if you understand me.
Okay, thank you, Success. So, buttress more on what you just said. For the stage C in data storytelling track, this coding session is basically for data storytelling track. All you need to do, web scrape any website of your choice, then get the data, run your analysis. What you have to submit, basically, you have to submit a GitHub link of your notebook, hosting your codes on how you got the data, how you carried out your analysis, your visualization. You are not to download datasets from Cargo. That is the whole point of this stage C. You are not to download datasets. You are to web scrape data directly from a website. If you download an already made dataset, you will be scored 0. So the answer is that you web scrape data from a website. If the website already has a tabular data sets, that's whatever, how you want to do it, that's your concern. So just web scrape data from a website, clean it or do your exploration data analysis, do your analysis, your visualizations and whatever. That will be on your code, on your notebook. Then you have to write a report of your findings, what you discover from the data. You have to tell a story of your findings in your report. So your report will be a document file, be it PDF or Word document. You see how you're going to submit in the assessment form. So that's basically what is supposed to submit for the stage C. There's a quiz, which is different. Then there's this project, which you'll be submitting a notebook of how you carried out your analysis, your code and all. Then you have to write a document of like a report. So when you go on the platform, you see the resources that explain everything on what to do, the what, the how, and when, or whatever you're doing. So you are not to download an already made data set. If you do that, you score 0. You are to web scrape data from a website. That is basically what you need to do. So I guess I've made that point very clear. So you're submitting a link to your GitHub, hosting your notebook, and you're also submitting a document file whereby you've written your reports, carried out visualization and analysis and whatever you've done. So that's basically what you need to do for the stage C in data storytelling track. Okay, there's a question, say, is there a word count for the report? No, there's no a word count. You can do whatever length of your report. It doesn't matter. If you go through the course, the resources, they already listed out how you have to carry out your report. So go through the course again. The resources, the project resource, you see what you need to do. There's also a sample report there. Just go through the course on the platform, you'll understand better. So this session was just to explain how to carry out your web scraping using Beautiful Soup. What she did, she used a Python library called Beautiful Soup. There are other libraries, there's Scrapy and others. So whatever one you want to use is your choice, but don't download an already made data. If you do that, you'll find that and you score 0. That's the end. So if you go to the platform, you go through the course, you understand how you have to write your report. Is there, sample report is there, so you have everything you need for this track. Success, over to you now, if you have any more questions.
Thank you, Christian. So guys, do you have any more questions to ask? You can go ahead. We still have 5 minutes to attend to other questions. Okay, guys, instead of not, let's just save time and call it a day. In the absence of no question, let's call it a day. I hope you have been able to grab something from this particular section. And even if you don't, please make a research. Go online and make a research on data scraping and know more about it. It's going to really help. It's really going to be helpful for you if you make a research on it. So thank you very much, guys, for being part of this section. We truly appreciate your time. So bye for now.